Believe it or not, Werner to Tottenham is a move that's been a long time in the making. In fact, going way back to 2013 when Werner was still at Stuttgart, I first heard of the lad because of links to Spurs. Obviously, a lot's happened to Werner since. Namely, moving to Leipzig and competing with the likes of Lewandowski and Haaland for the Golden Boot, earning himself a big money transfer to Chelsea due to some truly incredible performances, looking like he couldn't score in a brothel, let alone on the pitch at Stamford Bridge, and ending up back to his old stomping ground, only this time with much fewer goals to offer. I'm not gonna lie to you, his season so far in Germany has been nothing short of a disaster. He has just 2 goals and 1 assist to his name in 14 games, and hasn't started at club level since the start of November. Needless to say, he's no longer the wonder kid that Liverpool were moving heaven and earth to bring in, but there's still a player in there. It's easy to forget he's only 27, and from Spurs' perspective, this is largely a risk-free move, with Son heading off to the Asia Cup, Alejo Velez suffering a long-term knee injury, Manor Solomon being ruled out indefinitely, and the likes of Richarlison and Brennan Johnson looking like they need all the help they can get. It's clear as day reinforcements were needed in January. In an ideal world, you'd bring in someone like an Osimhen, but throwing hundreds of millions of pounds around at a single player midway through the season is simply unrealistic. And therefore Spurs had to get a little bit creative in order to make the 3 additions they're looking for. If he flops during this 6-month loan, the club can flog him off back to Leipzig and look elsewhere during the summer for forwards. Conversely, should he be a success, his reported price tag is just £15 million to make the deal permanent, which is the equivalent of a Diet Coke and bag of crisps in this batshit crazy market. With Man United also sniffing around, getting things done nice and early was a no-brainer. It goes without saying that Werner's time in England didn't go to plan last time around. He scored just 10 goals across 2 Premier League seasons at Chelsea, and should have netted at least double that as per his expected goals figure. While that's obviously a disappointing return, I do have to point out the fact that it felt like someone put a juju on this motherfucker. I recall at least a dozen times when he was flagged offside after finding the net, and he seemingly made a habit of producing the most audacious finishes, only to see the goal ruled out shortly after. If you look at the radar on screen, the only metric that changed between Werner's time at Leipzig and Chelsea was his strike rate. He continued to work his bollocks off out of possession, showcased a willingness to operate in numerous different positions across the front 3, and scared the living shit out of opposition defenses with his pace and directness. It's why Chelsea fans had a lot of love for him despite his lack of output. He's not exactly the first striker to wet the bed over there either. Shevchenko, Torres, Pato, Falcao, Higuain, Morata, and Lukaku are just some of the names that spring to mind when looking back at flops of yesteryear. And it's fair to say that club is a graveyard for centre forwards not named Drogba or Costa. Now, Werner's physicality, aerial prowess, and hold-up play leave a lot to be desired. However, his movement, pressing from the front, and ability to run in behind and attack the space feels well calibrated for what Ange wants to see from his forwards. The acceleration Werner has in his arsenal, pardon the pun, will also be a huge asset during fast breaks from turnovers in the opposition half, so as long as his teammates can release the ball to him quickly. Werner's gonna come in with not only unfinished business in the Prem, but also a place in the Germany squad for the Euros to play for, so expect to see him bang up for it from the get-go. I'm not gonna sit here and suggest that he's gonna be a success. Frankly, I can't see that happening. But going back a few months, I thought it was strange that Spurs opted to sign an unknown entity like Vicario when David Raya was there for the taking, yet the former's been one of the best goalkeepers in the league, while the latter's still very much finding his feet at Arsenal. So clearly, there's a method to the madness at Tottenham. Make sure to check out my video on Dragusin if you're new to my channel, let me know what you think of Werner down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.